Good morning, everyone. Thank you for taking out your valuable time and sparing it here with us. I'm Madan Ramaya, the design director for a company called FHT Group, which is primarily into the practice of architecture. Our projects range between large residential developments, commercial developments, to adventure destinations, to award-winning net zero sustainable communities like Organo Nandi. Here I'm also happy to say that Organo Nandi recently won the World Green Building Council recognition for advancing sustainable thinking, and more recently the Architecture Master Prize in Bilbao, Spain. So all through our practice, we are known for providing research-driven and rationalized solutions to our clients. Around 5 years back, we realized that as architects, we needed to expand our roles to proactively identify problems concerning our built environment and apply our design and construction skills in mitigating them. In the process, manifesting projects that are inclusive, have a strong social impact, and are environmentally conscious. While doing all this, we keep in front what we call our face values, being frugal, apt, culturally relevant, and driven by empathy. Today, I'll be presenting to you our thinking behind one of our upcoming projects, where we are endeavoring to co-create an apt vertical eco-habitat for urban Indians. As consultants, in a lot of projects we were working on, we were given a brief by the developer based on an economically driven model, primarily on market constraints and financial feasibility. But deep down, we started questioning ourselves on their social relevance to the actual end users, the residents of the building, how their way of life would be influenced by the design that we create. As an urban society, we seem to be constantly pushing for higher density of living, but with lesser possibilities of actual life. More people living together, but with lesser interaction. So is our current way of building vertical living actually creating a good social environment? Now, if you look at it much more closely, we've become local citizens, but remain private at home. We reach home and shut our apartment doors. Couples have started working and earning together with very busy schedules, but are our homes adapting to that pace? There is better standard of living, but with significant impact on our personal and family time. While people were changing, our homes were not. We all, no matter our needs and aspirations, have to fit our life to the homes we buy and not the other way around. Today, environmental responsibility and going green have become a subject of luxury instead of a norm. Can it be instead deeply integrated into everything we do? But this is not how it was always. If you were to turn back the clock and think about how we have lived, we see a very different picture of Indian lifestyle. Communities were not about putting a gate to isolate their identity. We always belonged to a community, a casually caring community where interactions between elders, youngsters, children, neighbors, friends, all of them happen naturally and very regularly. Streets were more of an extension of our living, kind of an outdoor living, rather than this unsafe demarcation they have become today. Houses never felt small. Neighborhoods were active civic spaces, adapting fluidly to the needs and moods of the residents, rejoicing with them, celebrating with them, mourning with them. They really had a personality. Lives within communities were genuinely open and interconnected. People cared about each other and offered support without even being asked. There are so many anecdotes that easily come to our minds, like an uncle taking a liberty to chastise us at the right time, which we can today reminisce and laugh about or be grateful about. Running to the neighbors without hesitation for loaning ingredients and getting cooking tips. Getting handed down notes and books from cool seniors to help in our exams. Hearing our favorite tales from Dadima with our colony friends. Very fond memories. Growing up itself was a collective experience with everyone around us contributing to it. It was very fulfilling, very natural. But in today's time, there's been a significant shift towards reclusive lifestyle. Despite high-density living environments, there are more people living next to each other, but less time spent interacting. So streets that used to be the nerve centers of activities have been replaced by monotonous experiences. There is no difference between the arrival experience of a person on the 3rd floor and someone on the 10th floor except an elevator button. Right? The lobbies, the corridors, flooring, everything is indifferent. Social spaces are programmed and isolated into clubhouses, which we bear no relation to everyday life, eventually maintaining something for the sake of an occasional use, randomly meeting and greeting and wishing people. It's all disappearing, and it's replaced by awkward smiles inside elevators. Relation to the ground, greenery, this is lost again to parking stills, elevator lobbies. So also when we come to actual living unit, the design parameters have stayed static for several decades. Right? The technological era has changed other conveniences. The mobile phone has become very intuitive, and today it really empowers the users exponentially. There are electronic gadgets that understand the user needs and adapt its contextual functionality. But the apartments we buy doesn't respond to the user needs as much. You and your parents are being offered the same living unit, although your life needs are very different. It's like our hardware of apartment typology is struggling to keep up with the upgraded software of life. So we started looking at this much more closely through several of our projects we normally do. We deep dived to understand contemporary lifestyles and requirements for Indian families today. We spoke to many families across different cities, young first home buyers to working couple with children, all the way to active senior homes for the past 3 years. There were several eye-opening factors that emerged, and it led us towards a different approach to answer this urban paradigm that we are facing today. So here is what we think. What if there is a new typology called 2getherments for Indians who generally are known to live culturally together? A new urban living typology which brings back our lost culture vertically up along with us, and it'll be a green, sustainable thinking habitat. A typology that makes homes subjective and empathetic to who they are meant for, and not just compromised adjustments. Spaces that do multitasking for the new generations who are themselves multitaskers, not because they don't have the money, but because they don't have the time to maintain it. And so creating habitats where time is earned, not literally, but by increasing face time between people within our home and outside. What if we could take the street that we saw before, an amalgam of activities, greenery and social interaction, and flip it vertically? Imagine various human interactions that used to happen when you arrive in your street. A neighbor wishing you on your way, your children with other kids playing gully cricket, elders sitting and chit-chatting. Basically, an environment that creates opportunities for people's lives to touch and influence each other. Imagine vertically stacked spaces that bring back and encourage intergenerational relationships, allowing knowledge sharing to happen naturally. When walking out from the elevator on the 6th floor or playing at the toddler's gym on the 3rd floor, no matter where you go, you pass through this vertical street that's engaging you with social activities. So elevator journeys are not anymore claustrophobic, but become a window to the social life around you. A sort of a celebration of Indian collective living, but adapted to our urban lifestyle. The 2getherments is consciously designed to integrate everyday activities that caters to various interests of the residents. Activities that are in plain sight instead of being closed inside a clubhouse. A lot of thinking has gone into intermingling programs that are symbiotic and yet create moments that instill curiosity. We want residents to experience the richness of life and not just facilities. Right? Imagine an art show happening in the community on the 9th floor, where your family and kids get to explore their hobbies. And you come back to the same place in the night to watch an IPL match with your friends in the open air theater. Imagine your parents having their own nooked for conversation with their friends after you busy couples have gone to work, talking about their grandchildren, having a small bhajan, playing chess. If you love an adventure, there is a climbing wall for all ages on the 6th floor along with young adults' play areas. Imagine watching your kids play gully cricket right while you are on your way to go home. Maybe you step out and choose to offer a few tips. That's the change in interaction pattern we are looking to cultivate. All this while we are also being responsible and sensitive to nature and environment. All of 2getherments areas will be powered by rooftop solar panels, which not only generate energy but also acts as a roof shading device to reduce heat gain during summers. The entire terrace and roof area is an oxygen bank, inviting to spend time doing yoga or swimming or hanging out with friends, with productive square foot gardens that can be adopted by the community to act as the kitchen garden. Demand reduction and recycling will be part of the community's ethos, with waste segregation, composting and treated water reuse integrated into the design. Greenery, again, is not used as an aesthetic element alone. It is an integral part of our passive sustainable solution for solar shading along the east and west facades, vertical edible gardening, and as a source of air purification and noise reduction. So at the level of the residents in2getherments, we are stretching ourselves to make our homes very specific to our end user and address the end user's needs and requirements. Instead of making our product generic, we have chosen to cater to the lifestyles of two personas completely. Two different set of families who have different ways of living. One is active 50s with floating kids, and another with working couples with kids. Obviously, both have further micro-level variations within them as well that our design caters to. Through a lot of case studies, house visits, and resident interactions, we have identified the concerns for these two personas in apartment living and created a product that understands their needs. For instance, our entrances are not going to be generic. They are designed with different personalities, like how you would experience a mohalla. Right from entrance lights, the finish and the styling of the door, to shoe racks, milk ledges, and provisions for cultural decorations. It adds a touch of uniqueness in every level. Imagine if your interior was designed as per your needs. Working couple could have open kitchens to increase face time between an elder cooking while their kid is doing homework or on the breakfast counter. Imagine your balconies reflecting your personalities, not just in style but in usage as well. Kids could do their artwork here. You could lounge or swing or grow a tulsi plant. So a larger 9 by 11 feet balcony acts as an extended outdoor living, not end up as a space for drying clothes. With our busy schedules, we are constantly multitasking. So shouldn't our spaces be? We have always taken a space to do just one thing, but that's not how we use them. So transformative furniture can today help adapt spaces and repurpose rooms in a moment. So when we looked at it, we realized that majority of 3-bedroom homes don't have a clear use for a large drawing room and one of the bedrooms. So hence we thought we'll have rooms that behaves as guest bedrooms or a study room or maybe a home office for when you work from home. If you're a working couple with children, then the children's room has furniture that can change to make it into a workspace or a play space or a living space by just transforming them. Even simple design allowances like moving a dining table below a kitchen counter could allow your kids to do their homework while you cook. Or creating designated areas to leave your keys, shoes, bags when you enter. These kind of small things change the way we interact with our homes rather than adding to the clutter. Do you know how many things that we keep in our utility? Right? We have thought through and added a space for each of these activities. Whether it's a dryer for your clothes or a storage box for your freshly washed clothes or a broom corner to hang all those cleaning equipments so the maintenance staff have less clutter to deal with. These are things that really matters in everyday living. But all this for what? Today, spending quality time has become quite crucial. We don't want our homes to come in the way when we are trying to save time. We want to make sure your home as a whole fits to your needs and gives back time to spend on being together. Not just at the home level, but at2getherments, the conveniences offered are designed to be more than just another facility across the entire project. For instance, trolley parking in the basements, creche with chaperones to take care of school children in case parents return late, independent art rooms and tuition rooms for learning, rooftop dhaba to host your friends without bothering family. These are thought from a standpoint of real user needs and not as an amenity. Small things that maximize social interaction have been integrated into the design. For instance, just making the elevator doors in glass increases face time and makes arrival at every floor a pleasurable and kind of an unpredictable experience. So our goal is to create communities that collectively helps us stay healthy, physically, socially, and mentally. That's when we feel we maximize the potentials of living together. With Organo Nandi, our attempt was to create a horizontal rural lifestyle outside the city. With 2getherments, we are trying to reimagine the vertical city life by bringing back the social aspects of living that we have lost. So if you'd like to join the journey and lead the change that we are trying to create, we'd be more than happy to understand you and your needs. Our team is eager to hear from you and take you much more intricately through the thought behind the many elements that I have highlighted. So thank you very much for your time and patience in supporting our endeavor. We hope to hear from you more. Thank you.